From Learfield on the Mustangs Sports Network, live from Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, this is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. Brought to you by Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue with daily food and drink specials. Join the MVP Club today. NTTA. Save money on North Texas toll roads with an SMU toll tag. Nissan. Proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Also by Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Proud sponsors of SMU Athletics. Texas Health Resources. Now over 350 North Texas locations. Find us at texashealth.org. And by Credit Union of Texas. Be a part of something unexpected. CUTX.org. Experience more. Here is your host, Rich Phillips.
Good evening and welcome once again to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I am Rich Phillips here at Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas. Great crowd we have on hand here tonight, and of course with us is the head coach of the 25th ranked SMU Mustangs, Tim Jankovich.
They love you here. As soon as they say your name, everybody starts cheering. You're big.
I know.
You're big here.
I play well here at Humperdinck's.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And as I said, head coach of the 25th ranked SMU Mustangs. We
Good
talked about it on the postgame Saturday night, and I know maybe it's not a whole lot for you, but you know in this room it means a whole lot. And I think in your locker room it means a lot, too, for your players.
Yes, and it is a good day. It is really a good day, and I could tell you this. I would have voted for our guys a long time ago had I had a vote. I believe in these guys, and I think that they were justly rewarded with the voting. And I'm glad to see him there. And, you know, I say it's not a big deal. It is and it isn't. I mean, it's not something I sit around and think about, but I don't want to act like it's, you know, we don't want to be there. Of course we do. We want to be there. We want to stay there. And I'm really happy for our guys. They deserve the recognition. And
they get there with a couple more wins last week, 86-46 against East Carolina and 76-53 on Saturday evening at Tulsa. And in that game on Saturday at Tulsa, a career night for one of your guys, Sterling Brown, 27 points. You realize he would have broken his career total with just his second half of that game. He scored 24 in the second half. 23 had been his career high. Add in what he did on Wednesday against East Carolina, and Sterling Brown is your American Athletic Conference Player of the Week.
Yes, how about that?
That is great.
How about that? Yeah, he was pretty good. He was pretty good in the Tulsa game.
He was.
Pretty good half. I got on him today. We ran 2 plays for him. He didn't read the screen. He should have had 30, for God's sake. I told him that. You should have had 30. Just read the screen. You'd had a couple more shots. But, no, I'm kidding. He was amazing. And we've said it I don't know how many times before. But he is, you know, for lack of me knowing a better word, he's the dog of the team. He is a tough, nasty competitor, and if you're going to get in a fight, I'd grab him. He'd be one of the first guys I grab. But I'm happy for him. He's really hungry. I love seniors. I love seniors, and I especially love them when they act like seniors, like Ben and Sterling, and even Jonathan, who doesn't get to play much. But you just ought to see his, you know, they can tell, they know that clock is winding down, and because of that, their urgency on a daily basis elevates. And it's not just these guys. I mean, I've done this for a long time, but when you watch our seniors right now, they have elevated themselves, which also elevates everybody around them. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. I can tell you for sure. There's nothing like watching seniors down the stretch and their narrow focus and their intensity and their will and all those kinds of things. So it's really fun.
So getting back here, it's been a climb to get back here to the rankings, obviously. Since the end of November, it's been a bit of a climb. Do you allow your players to at least have a moment to feel satisfaction, or is it just
we had a moment. We had a moment, and then it passed, and then no. Of course, yes, and we talked about it. They didn't seem as enthusiastic as I thought they would. I just congratulated them, told them I thought they completely deserved it, and they just acted like, well, you know, I thought we would be, you know. So, but what comes with that, and I guess that's why I was saying earlier that, you know, to me, there's no rush to get there, because all it does is puts a bigger bullseye on your back. I mean, let's face it. Any time a team comes into somebody else's building with a little number right beside them, it just elevates the whole place. It elevates the the players, the electricity in the building, everything changes, and you have to deal with that. But when you're a really, really good program, that's what you deal with on a regular basis, and we've had success lately. We're dealing with that anyway, but I'm happy to be there. I'm happy for our guys, and I hope that we can sustain what's been going on for the last couple months.
Yeah, so those guys do you see on Thursday night will be ready and waiting, going to Temple Thursday at 8 o'clock, and then your team's ready and waiting, right, for Sunday, because the team coming in's got a number that's a smaller number, too.
Yeah, it's got a small number. It's a small and deserved number. They are a great team. I hope our team, we have not mentioned one single thing about Sunday, but our guys aren't stupid for sure. But I trust them. They've got some maturity to them, and I just think they're smarter than that. And I really think we'll be ready. We've answered a lot of bells here in the last couple of months. I've not felt like one time we've come out not ready to play or flat or overlooking somebody. I haven't felt that one single time, and I'm telling you, in all the years I've done this, that's amazing, because you keep thinking, because of experience over the years, like, maybe this is the night we overlook somebody, or we're a little flat, or we didn't. And I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. These guys are hungry, and they're mature, and they're bright, and I have a trust until they show me otherwise. I feel good about our next challenge every time.
And, of course, that Sunday game is against 11th-ranked Cincinnati, 3 o'clock tip at Moody Coliseum. If you don't have tickets, ESPN is where you're going to see it, because I was told it was sold out earlier today. How about that?
Good deal.
We're not trying to build it up or anything for you.
Good to know.
So a big week for the SMU Mustangs as they back into the rankings at number 25. This show is Fast Track with Tim Jankovich, and every week some of the fans can ask questions of the head coach. You can go to SMUMustangs.com and hit Ask the Coach. You can submit your questions on Twitter with the hashtag of AskTim, or you can join us here in person each week at Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas, and some of our staff here can get your questions and bring them up to us as well. We'll do some of those later on in the show. But coming up, let's look at how the Mustangs went through last week, and we're going to debate, I guess, again, if home court matters or not. That's coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Ruthie's Rolling Cafe, serving up the best grilled cheese in Texas. For 4 years in a row, Ruthie's has been voted the best food truck of SMU and Park Cities. Ruthie's is a crowd favorite among the ponies. You can find the food trucks rolling on SMU campus, SMU home games, and you can find them regularly at Clyde Warren Park. To book Ruthie's for a private party, visit their site at ruthiesfoodtrucks.com. Because after all, there ain't no party like a grilled cheese party. So, seize the cheese.
The Century 21 brand has become synonymous with one name, Mike Bowman, honorably distinguished to retain the #1 office in the world in closed transactions. Not just once or twice, but an astounding 16 times. And they continue to be a proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Discover for yourself how the dedicated team at Century 21, Mike Bowman, can make your real estate transaction the best you will ever experience at c21bowman.com.
Go coast to coast with the versatile 2017 Nissan Rogue. Display some fancy footwork with available intelligent all-wheel drive. And go for 3 with an available third row for seating up to 7. So next time you show up to support your team on the court, bring your A game and show up in a Rogue. Take on game day. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the SMU Mustangs.
If you're an SMU fan, you bring your game face to the game. But if you're an SMU super fan, your car brings its game face too. By wearing an official red and blue SMU toll tag. Because super fans know nothing says you pony up everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag, just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The North Texas Toll Tag Authority. Get there smarter.
Hey SMU fans, it's never too late to score delicious pizza with Papa John's 8 after 8 deal. All through SMU basketball season, you can get a large 3-topping pizza for only $8 after 8 p.m. Great for game night or any night. Order online at papajohns.com with promo code 8 after 8. Pony up.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official sponsor of SMU athletics.
Not valid with other discounts, prices, participation, and delivery area may vary. Taxes and fees extra.
Are you serving or have served our country? SMU's Lyle School of Engineering offers master's programs and tuition reductions for military personnel across the globe. For veterans and those in the uniformed services of the U.S., our distance education programs provide a way to help engineer our nation's future. It's just one way SMU is saying thank you to those who protect and serve our country. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips here at Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas. We're here every Monday night through the SMU basketball season. The show is presented in part by the Sewell Automotive Companies. Visit Sewell.com to see the showcase of 9 premier luxury automotive marques. Sewell Automotive Companies, obsessed with service since 1911. A 2-0 week for the SMU Mustangs gets them back into the national rankings, 25th this week, as they prepare to head to Philadelphia Thursday to play Temple and come home Sunday at 3 o'clock to play Cincinnati. So 2 games last week. We'll start off first with Wednesday night against East Carolina. I continue to feel like we have not seen the real East Carolina yet in the 2 games that we saw this year, because on New Year's Eve we won up there by 31 and then by 40 at home the other night, and I just feel like that's not representative of their work, I don't believe.
It's not. Just go back and look at the Cincinnati game at East Carolina, which, if I'm not mistaken, Cincinnati lost by 2. I think it was a 2-point game right after we played at Cincinnati, and they just beat, I don't know, 3 or 4 games ago they beat Tulsa. No, I don't know what it is about us playing them and the matchups, but or just the timing or whatever, but you know, we need to have more of those. We need to have more of those games for sure.
Then Saturday night at Tulsa, it was a 76-53 win for the SMU Mustangs, and this is the series where home court does not seem to matter. You didn't even know this until I brought it up to you on the pregame show on Saturday evening on the radio broadcast. That's now 6 consecutive wins for SMU at the Reynolds Center, but Tulsa's won 4 out of 5 at Moody Coliseum. That's a very odd trend in the series.
That is a very, very odd trend, and so hopefully we can get you to quit talking about it, but when they come back here, we can get this thing to where it's not that odd, okay? We need to get that out of there, but I know that's crazy. I don't have one single explanation. I just know that I enjoy going there. It's a really good atmosphere. It's a great arena. It's close. We always have fans travel. That helps us, I think. And for whatever reason, we seem to play well there. I don't know why they play so well here. We'll do our best to see if we can change that around, but that's a crazy number.
With about 5 minutes or so left in the first half, I think it was 19-17 or 18-17, Tulsa was in front. Your guys closed on a 12-0 run to take a 9-point lead at halftime, but did you see a 22-point win at that point, 23-point win? It didn't have any look like that was going to happen at that point.
No, after about 12 minutes, I saw a loss coming. We found a whole bunch of ways to turn the ball over that we have not. You know, we were traveling right and left, and we threw the ball to the official one time. I mean, we were a little bit scattered. I don't know what caused that. Maybe it was their defense, but I just felt like we were really out of sort at the beginning, and felt great to be close. You know, we were ahead of part of that time. They took the lead back from us, and heck, as poorly as we were playing offensively, I felt great that we were right there. I knew I didn't know. I was hoping and thought that we would settle down. Never did I see a 20-point plus win coming. No.
And when you threw it to the referee, at least he kept it in bounds.
Yeah, he did, but they ended up with the ball anyway. We turned it over anyway. Yeah.
Hey, and one of the officials fought through. He got knocked down, was taken out, limped off to the locker room, and he fought back.
Hey, it was a rough night for the officials.
It was.
We throw balls at them. We had one injured. I was yelling at one a lot.
Boy, you were.
It was a rough night. It was a rough night. They have a tough job.
We talked about it a moment ago. Sterling Brown named the American Athletic Conference Player of the Week. 27 points, 9 of 15 shooting. He was 4 of 7 beyond the arc, and 24 of his 27 come in the second half. So those were some inspiring halftime words you had for number 3, weren't they?
I was going to say I spoke most to him. Yeah, everything was directed at Sterling. Isn't that amazing? No, just one thing, well, many things I love, but one of the many things I love about this team is that at any time, anywhere, there's a number of guys that can catch a fire, and you've seen it with a whole bunch of different guys that have all of a sudden, and that's one of our biggest strengths. And I think moving forward, if all plays out the way we hope, hopefully it will make us a very tough out in postseason, because let's say you're relying only on 2 or 3, maybe at the most, people to do the bulk of your scoring. Maybe you just catch one of those nights and one of them's in foul trouble and one of them's having a bad night, and all of a sudden it's pretty rough going. And that's why I always, in terms of recruiting, you always want to, for my money, I always want to recruit a number of guys that can shoot the ball, so that when 1 or 2 are having a bad night, a bunch of other guys can have a good night. We are definitely that team. You look at our stats. If I was playing us and I picked up our stat sheet and really analyzed it, it would be hard. We've got a lot of numbers on there that really would give you pause if you're trying to scout our team.
Yeah, for Sterling, he's not been your lead guy on the offensive in really any of his 4 seasons here. Always a solid contributor. His shooting percentage, though, has always been outstanding. And this season, he's 45% on threes. He's second all time in school history right now in percentage on three-point field goal shooting. Is some of it shot selection for him, because he doesn't take a ton of threes? Is some of it finding the right one to take?
Some of it is, yes. Over the course of his career, no question, he was pretty selective. But I think most of it is he's really worked his way into being a great shooter. When he first got here, he was just, a young freshman, and he was in the gym, and we were, just shooting around, and I could tell that, like so many guys his size out of high school, he had not relied on his jump shot at all.
Yeah.
He relied on everything else. And a lot of guys come out of high school, they don't realize you don't just drive into the basket and shoot it any time you want. A lot of them get blocked, and all of a sudden you're scouted like 10 times more than you were in high school. So if they read you as a driver, it's harder to drive, and I can go on and on. I told him, I said, Sterling, if you have to develop a great three-point shot, because it's going to set up everything. And I've told a million guys that over the years, but only a handful really listen.
Right.
They really listen, and he did, and he started to go to work even right as a freshman, and no way am I trying to take credit. I'm just saying early on, it was something that was told to him, and he did something about it. He's worked his tail off to become what I think is a pure shooter.
And then the other thing that I thought was interesting to see in the box score on Saturday night was that Ben Moore, who is a 12-point per game scorer for you this year, scored only 4. He only took 3 shots in the game, but he has a huge effect on the game with 10 rebounds, 5 assists. And I know this because I was with the guys after the game. We bust home together. He certainly wasn't disappointed to only get 3 shots, and I think that kind of tells the story about this team.
He's amazing. If you get a chance, go watch the game and just watch Ben Moore. Just watch him. Just watch a guy that plays the game with only one thing in mind. He does not care about anything except winning, and he only does about 150 things a night to help you win. He's so bright. He's so energetic. He jumped over the scorer's table on the end. He goes and blocks shots. He runs down balls in the corner. The next thing you know, he's diving on the floor. I mean, this is a winner. This guy is amazing, and if you don't love Ben Moore, you're just not watching close enough.
And he was real smart when he dove over to that table. He stayed just far enough right so he didn't hit the AD and the deputy athletic director.
Yeah, it was pretty good. He's good aim. He's told you he's smart. He's smart.
Right.
I told you that. High IQ.
Very close, but he was able to avoid them. Well, it was a big win on Saturday night, 76-53 SMU with the victory at Tulsa. And it was a homecoming for one of the Mustangs to Shake Milton from very nearby Tulsa, Owasso, Oklahoma. And another big offensive night for him. Let's talk about the progression of Shake Milton's offensive game coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Maggiano's Little Italy specializes in serving lavish portions of authentic Italian-American cuisine. The menu is large and varied, offering homemade pastas, signature salads, prime steaks, fresh fish, and memorable desserts. Maggiano's Little Italy treats you like you've been going there forever, even on your first visit. Not only do they have incredible lunches and dinners, they're also a perfect choice for a banquet of any size. Come as you are for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. We're a time worth having. At Maggiano's Little Italy, you get more of everything. Maggiano's is located at North Park Mall in Dallas.
Business is a game, and if you want to win, you have to be faster, smarter, and more focused than the competition. Which is why SMU Cox offers the Fast Track 1-year MBA, designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Learn from world-class faculty, study with driven peers, and connect to a global alumni network spanning 80 countries. The Fast Track 1-year MBA, a major career highlight, only from SMU Cox. More online at coxgrad.com.
The boss just asked you to coordinate the annual employee company picnic. But where do you start looking for all the tables, chairs, and grills you're going to need? With one call to the rental experts at M&M Event Rentals, you'll learn about renting an event tent, tables, chairs and linen, and even festive centerpieces, all from one company with decades of party experience. Visit them online at mmspecialevents.com and like them on Facebook to see how they can help your company celebrations. Get a jump on your winter holiday events and call M&M today.
Nothing works up an appetite more than a nail-biting, on the edge of your seat, fan-roaring Mustang basketball game. So after we swish that buzzer-beating shot, swing by Ruth's Chris for our 3-course menu, starting at just $44.95. Enjoy a complete meal that includes a starter, delicious entree, personal side dish, and, of course, some decadent dessert. Eat like a winner tonight and make your Ruth's reservation at our North Dallas location or in our new spot in Uptown at Cedar Springs and Harwood.
Go coast to coast with the versatile 2017 Nissan Rogue. Display some fancy footwork with available intelligent all-wheel drive. And go for 3 with an available third row for seating up to 7. So next time you show up to support your team on the court, bring your A game and show up in a Rogue. Take on game day. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the SMU Mustangs.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. Rich Phillips here with the head coach of the SMU Mustangs every Monday night from 7 to 8 at Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas. The show's brought to you by the Credit Union of Texas. Credit Union of Texas was founded in 1931. CUTX is proud to be your financial partner on and off the court. Experience more at CUTX.org. SMU with 2 games this week, 1 on the road Thursday night. That is at Temple. That'll be an 8 o'clock start from Philadelphia. It's on ESPN2. And then Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock at home against the University of Cincinnati. That's 11th-ranked Cincinnati, facing number 25 SMU on Sunday at 3. It is sold out. A few singles, I believe, do remain, and it is on ESPN, and also it'll be on 770 KAAM, where our show is every week. Well, Shake Milton scored 19 points in another homecoming for him on Saturday at Tulsa, and first off, he sure likes to shoot in that gym, does he not? He went 7 of 8 beyond the arc last season up there and shot very well again on Saturday night.
I was just going to say that. We talked earlier about liking to play there. He loves to play there, and really happy for him. There's a lot of people come out to see him, of course, and he's a big name in that area. He's a big name in a lot of areas across the country now, the way he's playing. But he came out of there well known, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And he got a chance to. He's got a sister plays on his, from his high school. She's a junior, and there's rumors that she may be better than him. He's got a younger brother that's I think 9 or 10. So. A lot of good things happen in that family.
Well, that's 5 consecutive games he has scored 19 or more, including his career high, I believe it was 27 against Houston a couple of weeks ago. In conference play, he's now just a point behind Shimmy at 16 points per game, shooting 46% beyond the arc. What's been a key to his development here, especially as the season has gone on?
Well, one thing about him, he makes it look easy, doesn't he? He's just one of those guys that he plays at a pace, and he's so confident and comfortable and poised that when you're really good, you make it look easy, and he's really good. But as far as the development, Well, think about it. Last year we have Nick, and so Shake is playing off the ball. Shake has always looked at himself as a point guard, even though he doesn't look like your normal point guard because he's so tall. But that was what he was used to in high school. He comes here, he plays off the ball, and he has a completely different role than he's ever used to. And then now he's put into the point guard position, or at least the majority of it. And he hasn't done it. It's like he's, at the beginning of the year. And I thought he was great at the beginning, but not close to what he's doing now. And I think we haven't even, as great as he's doing, we haven't seen his best days because he's still growing. You can see that.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a great future without question, and a long future as long as his health holds up. So really happy for him and proud of him. And He's a joy to coach. You always want your point guard to be really smart and really poised, first of all, and he is both of those, and then some, and then a lot of some.
He seems quiet. Is he quiet with his teammates?
Pretty quiet, but just enough talk to get it directed. I mean, he's not going to do it with his voice the whole time, but he's going to get his points across. He's going to get us, organized. He understands at a very high level. He's certainly not a rah emotional type leader, but he leads through confidence and poise and just great plays. He just plays so well. He's so easy to play with, and you've seen him make so many big plays for us. As games wind down, he's got a lot of courage. So that's the way he leads, and that's his personality, and it works. It works for him, and it's definitely working for us.
I don't know if it's confidence or what it is, but it seems like he's also looking to work off the drive a lot more and get to the basket more, and maybe that's why he's got 5 straight of 19 or more.
Well, you mean just recently? I was going to say, we changed the way we've really changed things a couple months ago that also opened some things up for everyone. But you're right. His confidence grows, and when you do, you get more aggressive. The more confident you are, the more aggressive you get, and the more aggressive you get and things go well, the more confidence you get. So he's on one of those little cycles right now, and I have so much confidence in him. And if he makes a mistake, he's not going to make many. You just got to let him play through them.
And while it was a homecoming for him, again, Owasso, I believe it's 13 miles away from the Reynolds Center. It almost seemed like a homecoming for Shimmy Ojale, too, because I guess that's about as close as we're going to get to Ottawa, Kansas. And He had a really good crew that came out to see him play Saturday night.
Yeah, we were well represented.
Yes.
And that's definitely an added incentive for our guys, for their families. They can't see them every single time, and their friends and those kind of things. So to feed off of that energy, and they really want to do well. I mean, it's sometimes it puts a little pressure on you when you go home or near home, but our guys obviously didn't look like there was a whole lot of pressure on them.
No,
they played great, and that was good to see.
And so the Mustangs, with that win at Tulsa on Saturday, their record improves now to 10-1 in the league, 20-4 overall, and up to 25th in the AP poll this week. Coming up, it is Ask the Coach. We've got some questions from some folks here at Humperdinck, so we'll ask of Tim Jankovich next on the Fast Track.
Hey, college football fans, you already know that we live in one of the great sports cities in the country. And folks here know the best place to watch the game in the Metroplex is at Humperdinck's, Dallas's original sports restaurant and brewery. At Humperdinck's, they know how to do football. Join the fun in Addison, Arlington on Northwest Highway, or at the home of the Mustangs, Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, where they've been SMU proud for 40 years and counting. Great burgers, ribs, steaks, and more. They're serving food every night till 1:30 a.m. Check them out online at humperdinks.com.
Once upon a time, your car was a new car. All the latest features, that new car smell. But now, Bob has an even newer car. And your car smells like hamburger wrappers and wet dog. Bob's car has Wi-Fi. Outsmart Bob and finance your next car with Credit Union of Texas. Our competitive rates are your happily ever after. Experience more winning at CUTX.org. Loans are subject to credit approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to your signage needs, trust the experts at Fast Signs North Central. With more than 50 years of knowledge, Fast Signs North Central will help provide you with a true turnkey experience. From branding and design work to complete production and installation, let Fast Signs North Central make your vision a reality by calling 214-890-4444 or find them online at fastsigns.com/11. Fast Signs North Central. More than fast, more than signs.
If you experience hip or knee pain, I know what you're thinking. Whew. And basically, you have two choices. You can wait until the gets so bad you can't stand it, or you can take the first step to living without right now at yourjointhealth.com. An online hip and knee assessment from the health system more people choose for joint health in North Texas. Texas Health. Visit yourjointhealth.com today.
Are you serving or have served our country? SMU's Lyle School of Engineering offers master's programs and tuition reductions for military personnel across the globe. For veterans and those in the uniformed services of the U.S., our distance education programs provide a way to help engineer our nation's future. It's just one way SMU is saying thank you to those who protect and serve our country. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu.
There are Mustangs fans. And then there are Mustangs super fans who pony up with an official SMU toll tag. That's because nothing says hail to the red and blue everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag. Just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The SMU toll tag from North Texas Tollway Authority. Get there smarter.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips with you every Monday night from 7 to 8 at Humperdinck's on Greenville in Dallas. Show brought to you in part by the Lyle School of Engineering, offering master's programs through on-campus and distance education options with tuition reductions available for military personnel across the globe. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu. Mustangs on the road Thursday night at Temple, 8 o'clock start on ESPN2, and then on Sunday at home against 11th-ranked Cincinnati. That's a 3 o'clock game at Moody Coliseum and on ESPN. And now it's time for our Ask the Coach segment that we have every week with some questions submitted by the listeners and those who come to Humperdinck's as well. We'll start off with a first question here. What is, not including Moody, your favorite venue to play at?
In the whole country? Is that?
I don't know. Well, let's go whole country first. How's that? Allen Fieldhouse, right?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably Allen Fieldhouse, yes. Yeah. But Moody.
But not including
I know,
Moody.
but Moody. Yeah, I guess that's what comes to mind. Yes.
In the conference, what's your favorite place to go to?
That is a good hard one. I don't have one on that. I don't. There's several, and I don't want to leave the other ones out and get them mad at us and, all that. I don't know. That's a
Well, would you rather me ask what's your least favorite place to go to?
No, for sure no. No, absolutely not.
I can give you a long list on those.
Absolutely. I'm not going there, no.
The place we just went, though, Saturday, the Reynolds Center, we talked about it earlier, that's one of my favorite places in the league to go to. I think for a number of reasons, just it's a nice building and it's a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I was going to say part of it's the building, the atmosphere. It feels like it has a little bit of rivalry to it. Mm-hmm. And we always have, a good number of people there. So that game always feels good. The closer you are to home, the better it feels. But I will say, I know you and I are on the same page. There's one or two where we really don't like to go.
There's some that
we have to go every year.
There's some that may be coming up soon that we don't want to go to.
I can't hear you. Did you turn this thing? Oh, I can't even hear you.
What's so special about Allen Fieldhouse?
Well, for me, I grew up in Kansas, and so it's and obviously I played at Kansas State, so that was the rival school. But so when I was playing, if somebody said, well, other than playing at home, where would you most like? So it really goes back to my roots, to be honest. It was more about when I was playing than really, coaching wise. Although then I did coach there for 4 years, and it's got one of, if not the best environments, And another great thing about it is their pregame tradition, which I love. And you don't just show up at the game and the game starts. If you really get into the whole Allen experience, you show up early. I went there, my first college game that I ever saw. I think I've told this story. I'm going to tell it again. I lived in Kansas City. Our family did when I was a little kid, and my dad came home and said, "Hey, we got some NCAA tickets." We'd never been to a college basketball game in my life. I think I was in second grade. I don't know what I was, but anyway. So they said it's an NCAA tournament. It's in Lawrence. We're going. So it's my first game as an NCAA tournament, and the teams that were there at Allen Fieldhouse were Kansas, Louisville, Houston, and SMU. And so my first college game, I got to see SMU in the regionals there, and SMU won their first one, and Kansas lost, and then SMU was in the Elite Eight right there and lost. But that I think it all goes back to those things, and that's when I knew I wanted to play college basketball, sitting in that game. So that's why for me. That's a long story. You asked.
That's fine. No,
you asked, and I got on it, but that's it.
And we certainly feel bad for some of those students who saw their first ever home loss this past weekend at Kansas. They'd won 54 straight.
Poor them.
I know.
How can they even get up in the morning?
Their team lost once at home in front of them.
Oh, my gosh. That's just awful. How could they possibly do that?
They were some despondent students that I saw on
There's just no excuse for ever losing a game ever in
Not
your
at all.
lifetime. No.
Not at all. Well, remember that. Keep that 14-0 going. Okay,
Yeah.
There you go. Two seniors on your team, Sterling Brown and Ben Moore. And one listener asking if they've assumed more of a leadership role off the court for the team this year.
Yes, just in all ways. Like I said, they're acting like seniors, and they have more urgency. It's a little more important to them than everyone else, even though the other guys don't realize that that's the case. Not until you get to be a senior. So, yeah, they're leading in every single way, and they help make any coach's job a little bit easier. That's what great seniors do. They really help the coach. And no question they're doing that.
We've talked about this before with them. Those two guys have been through a little bit of everything in 4 years. A snub, a horrible ending to a tournament appearance, not getting to go to the tournament, and now trying to fight their way back in this year.
No, think about it. I mean, how many people have had more things thrown in their face than they have? To not get the bid, I mean, that was a humongous disappointment when they were young. And, of course, when they're young, you think you got 72 more tries at it. And then, of course, the first-round loss, an amazing, just a heartbreaking ending. And so that's 2 years in a row. And then, oh, by the way, your program's on probation, and you've got 30 games. That's it, and you're done. There's no that one is like times 100 to me. That one trumps everything. I've not been involved in all my years of playing and coaching, which is a lot now, of that experience, and I would never wish it on anyone, and I would certainly not wish it on some of these great kids that are in our program.
And not that they disliked it, but they had a coaching change in the offseason too. I mean, that just can be a lot of change within the program.
That's right. Well, and last year we had two coaches. I mean, we're going to split it up, and we're going to have two coaches, and then next year we have. I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing what they've been through, and the way they've their resiliency is amazing to me. Really, they never complained, at least outwardly. They just. Our word for it is next play. That's just my word for it that I always tell them is, I want you to have that mentality. You never look back. You make a mistake. It's next play. What do I need to do now? Not, oh, my gosh, I just threw the ball to, out of bounds or whatever. And I think that's a life, term as well for all of us. It's things happen, bad things happen, and you just have to be strong, and you go to the next, what is the next play? What is the next thing I need to do? These guys have been amazing at that.
And that question was, have those guys really stepped up as leaders off the court? The one I have about leadership, too, is who's the most vocal guy on this team? There don't seem to be a whole lot of guys that are chatterboxes in your group.
No, I think that's what would surprise most fans if you hung around us. And for a while, it was a little disconcerting to me. We are a very quiet team. We really are. We're a very, very naturally, personalities are just quiet and great people and all bright and fun and smart and all that, but not the most talkative and not always overly enthusiastic. They're pretty even keel. But I would have to say probably Sterling probably does the most talking.
Yeah,
he probably does. Yeah, that would be my. Yeah, I'm sure everybody would say that. Yes.
They all did seem to enjoy Old School on the bus the other night, though.
How can you not?
I don't know.
I mean, how can you not? For gosh sake, I could watch that 100 times.
I knew you were right up front laughing just like I was.
Darn right.
This is, what's that?
Memorizing lines.
I had plenty of them.
Yeah.
Herman and I shared a few on the bus the other night while we were watching. This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. 2 games coming up for the Mustangs this week at Temple and at home against Cincinnati. And we'll look at those 2 opponents coming up next here on the Fast Track.
Are you really into chocolate? Do you know the plural of mousse? Would you gladly put your mole where your mouth is? Is drizzle always in your forecast? Can you fudge your way out of any situation? Are you really into chocolate? If the answer is yes, then check out Central Market's Chocolate Fest, February 1st through the 14th. Satisfy all your sweet teeth with hundreds of varieties of confection perfection, plus find new ways to love chocolate even more. Info at centralmarket.com. Visit our 5 DFW locations.
Highland Park and Preston Hollow Emergency Room, the official ER of SMU, and your neighborhood no-wait ER. With 2 facilities conveniently located near you, we're able to provide the Dallas area with upscale, quality care for all your emergency needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit HighlandParkER.com for more information. Highland Park and Preston Hollow ER. Pony up.
Hey, college football fans, you already know that we live in one of the great sports cities in the country. And folks here know the best place to watch the game in the Metroplex is at Humperdinck's, Dallas's original sports restaurant and brewery. At Humperdinck's, they know how to do football. Join the fun in Addison, Arlington on Northwest Highway, or at the home of the Mustangs, Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, where they've been SMU proud for 40 years and counting. Great burgers, ribs, steaks, and more. They're serving food every night till 1:30 a.m. Check them out online at humperdinks.com.
I drive 310 miles one way just so I can have Sewell service my vehicle because I trust them.
What could possibly make people behave this way?
I go over there sometime just to hang out.
A manner of customer service you'll find at no other dealership.
You can't beat the service anywhere else.
I don't know what my next car will be, but it will be a Sewell.
Sewell Buick GMC, proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Visit us at SewellBuickGMC.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
Nothing works up an appetite more than a nail-biting, on the edge of your seat, fan-roaring Mustang basketball game. So after we swish that buzzer-beating shot, swing by Ruth's Chris for our 3-course menu, starting at just $44.95. Enjoy a complete meal that includes a starter, delicious entree, personal side dish, and, of course, some decadent dessert. Eat like a winner tonight and make your Ruth's reservation at our North Dallas location or in our new spot in Uptown at Cedar Springs and Harwood.
Hi there, this is Jason Witten. You know, on the football field, I like to be known as the go-to guy. Just like Albertsons is the go-to place for beef, especially since they only sell the best. USDA Choice Beef. USDA Choice Beef at Albertsons is always tender, always full of flavor. So when you want a tender, juicy steak or roast, go to the go-to place for USDA Choice Beef. Albertsons.
Albertsons. It means a great deal.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. It is delivered to you by Nissan. A win for your team is a win for you, too. There's nothing quite like it except driving a Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com today and take on game day. Nissan is a proud supporter of college athletics. The SMU Mustangs back into the national rankings, 25th this week in the AP poll, and they'll be on the road on Thursday night playing against Temple. That'll be in Philadelphia with an 8 o'clock start time. And then on Sunday afternoon at home against 11th-ranked Cincinnati. That is at 3 o'clock. It is on ESPN. These are both teams, Coach, that we've seen already this year. Second go-round first with Temple. A 79-65 win over them back early in conference play. It was back on a whole month ago, January 4th. They've picked it up a little bit with 3 wins in the last 4 games. And I'm sure, though, you and the guys who were on this team last year remember last year's trip to Philadelphia very well.
Absolutely. That feels like ages ago that we played them, and it's hard to remember all about the game. What I do remember is they came into our place having just beaten Florida State and West Virginia on back-to-back nights, and so that had happened not long before, and then they kind of stumbled, early in the league, and then now they're kind of playing their way back up. But it is a program with tremendous history, one of the winningest in the history of college basketball. Fran is a tremendous coach, and he was, I want to say, the last 2 years Coach of the Year, and deservedly so. And so it's never easy there, and as you mentioned, not a wonderful day or night.
No.
I don't remember if it was day or night, but I remember the game. Not a wonderful time there last year. Yes, not a wonderful time.
Yeah, we sat and watched it snow for 24 hours straight.
Yes, we certainly did. It piled above our head, and the bus got stuck, and it was just really fun. You should have been there.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Then the 18-0 streak came to an end.
Exactly.
And then we had a plane problem after that, so we got to hang out even
longer.
longer.
Oh, yeah. You guys can't believe this trip. It was the all-time. So we are really excited to be going again this year.
Can't wait to go there.
Absolutely.
It is Thursday night at 8 o'clock against Temple, and again, it's on ESPN2. And then Sunday, I know you probably don't like to talk about it this way, but it's the game of the year in the American Athletic Conference. I think it's fair to say with 11th-ranked Cincinnati at 25th-ranked SMU, and they're undefeated so far in league play at 10-0, and your only loss has been at Cincinnati.
Last week you said I could talk about anything I want to talk about. Did you not say that?
I did.
You haven't even brought up the Super Bowl, for God's sake.
We got one more segment to go, so hold on.
Because I have some things on my mind here. But
we're going to get to that.
But if you want to talk about Sunday, we can talk about Sunday.
We do.
I hope that our crowd moves bricks in our building. That's what I hope. I hope it is so loud that the bricks move. And I hope that we can do our part Thursday, which will not be easy, to make sure and set that up for the game that you're talking about.
Yes.
Which will not quite be the same if we stumble Thursday. It'll still be very, very, very important, but it won't maybe be what you're looking at right now.
They are very tough. They almost go down last Wednesday at Tulsa, and they rally back from 9 down, I think, in the last 3 minutes. And I think it was probably no surprise to any of us. Troy Copane hits a huge shot to help them win that game. This is going to be a very difficult test. And they're different than years past because they're scoring 78 points a game.
Absolutely. They're not even remotely like the Cincy that we know and have known for several years. They just don't go down easy. Some nights they get away from people and they play great, but others, how many close games have they won? They're just hard to beat. I think they've only lost twice all year. Am I right?
Correct.
I mean, that's hard to do in college basketball, guys. It's really, really, really hard for every night, enough things to go well that your team wins. And for them to post the record they have, I have a lot of respect for them. I feel for Tulsa. I don't know if anyone watched the Tulsa-Cincinnati game, but if you're Tulsa, you felt like you had the game won. They were up 9, I think, with about 3 to go, and everything is under control. And as I said, Cincy does not go down easy. And a couple turnovers later and a shot here and there, and the next thing you know, it's going right down to the wire and they pull it out. So we know what we're in for there, and I hope it is a great afternoon on Sunday.
Last month up there in Cincinnati, 66-64, Cincinnati had the win, but I know you had to feel pretty good about your way you guys played after the 16-0 run they gave up. You fell behind by 15 there in the first half, but they really fought their way back and in a tough environment, so there had to be a lot of good you were able to take out of that game.
No question. I think our guys maybe I hope we don't have to draw from that exactly where we're way down and come back, but I think that game definitely toughened us up, put our backs against the wall, and I always say this. I think when adversity hits is when you really find out about your team. When things aren't going well, many college teams pull apart and they get frayed, and it's not a pretty sight, and it can get worse, or they can choose to rally together, and bond together in the middle of a game, in the middle of the adversity, and fight their way out. And that was exactly what what our guys did, and I loved watching that. I was, of course, like everyone else, very disappointed in the ending. For a lot of reasons that we won't go into, but just the way, when faced with what could have been an ugly situation, they could have gotten completely away from us. And our guys were not about to have that, and I think became a stronger team that day.
And so that, again, will be on Sunday at home, SMU in Cincinnati, 3 o'clock. It has been declared a sellout. A few single tickets do remain. And you can see it on ESPN and hear it here on 770 KAAM. Yes, I had planned all along. Super Bowl. We got to talk about that. With a guy who works in competitive sports for a living, I got to find out what you thought of one of the most amazing football games we'll probably ever see. We'll talk about it next year on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Texas Institute for Surgery is a state-of-the-art physician-partnered acute care hospital that specializes in treating sports medicine, orthopedics, joint replacement, spine, and pain management, among many other clinical services. Texas Institute for Surgery has earned the reputation of providing the best in surgical care. Texas Institute for Surgery, the first choice for care by physicians and patients. Go to TexasInstituteForSurgery.com for more information. Texas Institute for Surgery is a physician-owned hospital.
This is Jason Witten for Albertsons. Here's a suggestion for you. Save a little cash and show your Cowboy spirit as well. On game days this year, wear a Cowboy jersey and you'll save 10% on all your groceries. And of course, I know just the jersey to wear.
Albertsons and Tom Thumb, your favorite local supermarkets, and proud sponsor of the SMU Mustangs. Albertsons and Tom Thumb.
Your neighbors get a new car. You get a better car. They went to a dealership. You went to Credit Union of Texas. Use the money you save financing with CUTX to buy something awesome, like a swimming pool full of money. Your neighbors don't have a swimming pool full of money. Now the Joneses are keeping up with you. Experience more victory at CUTX.org. Loans are subject to credit approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
I drive 310 miles one way just so I can have Soul service my vehicle because I trust them.
What could possibly make people behave this way?
I go over there sometime just to hang out.
A manner of customer service you'll find at no other dealership.
You can't beat the service anywhere else.
I don't know what my next car will be, but it will be a Sewell.
Sewell Cadillac, a proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Visit us at SewellCadillac.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
Wrapping things up on this Monday night on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips. We're at Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas every Monday from 7 until 8. It's presented by the Cox School of Business, offering the new Fast Track one-year MBA designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Visit coxgrad.com for more information. SMU at Temple on Thursday night at 8 o'clock, at home Sunday at 3 o'clock against Cincinnati. And the Mustangs back in the top 25 at number 25 this week. But we do have to talk about the sports story that certainly every year, obviously, is the number one sports story this time of year, the Super Bowl. And did you make it to the end, or did you give up in the middle of the third quarter, like I'm sure too many people did when it's 28-3?
I was bored like everyone else, thinking, geez, it's not even a game, But the food had food. I thought, well, I'll eat the food and I'll watch the game. What the heck? And then all of a sudden, as we all know, the second half, an unbelievable game just came right in front of our face. And I love watching championship games in anything. I love watching when the best have to rise to their best. And it's really inspiring. I've worked in coaching for so long that I don't watch millions and millions of sports games anymore. I kind of want to get away from it at times, but I always want to watch championships, whether it's golf majors or tennis majors or the Super Bowl or the World Series. That's when I love watching it, and it's the nearest thing to making me feel like a kid, because it's so inspiring to watch greatness find its way to be greater. And what the Patriots did and what Brady did was just absolutely amazing to me.
As a coach, I would think it's also got to be great to see examples like that I don't know, maybe you throw out at your team one day that truly and honestly, it's not over.
Games are not over.
It's not finished until the game has 0 on the clock.
Yes, if you have the right character where you know, and the right character is to fight every second and all the cliche, you know, you fight every down, you fight every play, you fight. But that is how you should play sports, and that's why it is inspiring, you know, to watch true champions. We talked about, you know, Federer, Nadal, you know, to watch that, to me, I don't care whether you like tennis or not, but just to watch two human beings competing at the very highest level and reaching down into their heart as far as they can, that's what I love to watch, and that's what, to me, I saw last night, and that's why I'm going to be thinking about that Super Bowl for a heck of a long time. But think about our championships this year. This has been one of the greatest championship years that I can ever remember. If you think about, the Cavaliers were down in the NBA 3-1, never happened before. The World Series, if I'm not mistaken, went 7 games in extra innings. Nadal Federer is one of the greatest tennis matches I've ever seen in my entire life. The college football championship game was unbelievable. And then we get the Super Bowl. And it's like, I don't know what is going on in high-level sports right now, but it is good stuff. And I love watching it.
When I was watching that yesterday, you know, like a lot of people, there's backlash on the Patriots and Tom Brady, and I certainly wasn't pulling for them until they made it a 2-score game. And I thought, okay, this will be really interesting to see if they could make this happen.
Oh, so you just flip-flop your allegiance right in the middle
of
the game.
I really didn't
Is that
have
what
any.
You're saying? Some of us have we're loyal to our team, but we don't just like, well, whoever's ahead, that's my team.
Well, I don't have any allegiance for the Falcons either.
Gosh sakes,
I don't have any allegiance.
I am just really down about this.
I had no allegiance for either.
You don't change in the middle of the game. You don't do that.
I just was rooting for the competition aspect, the sport aspect, and I thought this would be pretty amazing if I get to sit here and watch the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
And maybe your wishing for it was why it happened, and we can all thank you for that.
Yeah, I doubt that's it, but sure, you go ahead and thank.
For you waffling and help the game.
I didn't waffle because I wasn't really rooting for anybody.
Okay, good. No, it was great stuff.
I won't waffle this week, okay?
Don't you dare.
I'm not waffling this week.
I don't care what. Don't you dare.
I'm pulling for SMU Thursday night at Philadelphia against Temple, and I'm pulling for SMU Sunday afternoon at home against Cincinnati.
It's pretty simple, isn't it?
It's very
simple. Pretty darn simple. It's not complicated.
Very simple.
No.
What's the biggest key for you this week is you guys now back in the spotlight a little more with the national ranking and obviously the big game on Sunday. What's the biggest key for you guys this week?
Well, for me, it's always our health. I mean, that's just always number one and number two, and then after that, I think you know, human nature and dealing with success and notoriety and making sure that doesn't change us in any way. I don't think it will, but I think, you know, you do have a little bit of a different target, and you got to handle a lot more people patting you on the back and those kind of things, and sometimes that can affect. But these guys are mature and they're hungry, and I don't think it will.
And one quick health question: Deshaun McDowell didn't finish the game the other night. What do you know on him?
Right, don't know his status for Thursday, but obviously hope he's going to be okay. But as of today, I don't know.
All right. Well, it'll be Thursday night, 8 o'clock at Temple, Sunday at 3 o'clock against Cincinnati at home, and we'll be back here next Monday night at 7 o'clock here at Humperdinck's on Greenville for the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. Thanks again for everybody coming out. We'll look forward to seeing you next Monday night here at Humperdinck's in Dallas.
From Learfield on the Mustang Sports Network. Live from Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue. The Fast Track with Tim Jankovich has been brought to you by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, proud sponsors of SMU Athletics. Credit Union of Texas. Be a part of something unexpected. CUTX.org. Experience more. Also by NTTA. Save money on North Texas toll roads with an SMU toll tag. Texas Institute for Surgery. Always providing unparalleled clinical excellence, care, and service for every patient. Texas Institute for Surgery is a physician-owned hospital. And by Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue with daily food and drink specials. Join the MVP Club today. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Mustang Sports Network.